snack. Me and you gonna have a little chat about books. Hi guys! So today I'm going to be doing my December wrap up, and in the month of December I actually managed to read a lot of books. I read 18, so I was really happy with that, probably due to doing the readathon and just generally having quite a lot of good books because I was back home with my bookshelves and I could just choose whatever I wanted. I don't actually have any of the books with me because I left all of them at home or I read some online, so I will just put up pictures of the covers. So let's get started. The first book that I read was actually on Pulsit.com. This is a really good website. I've spoken about it in previous videos. It's free to sign up and you can read books on there for free for like a week or in the month of December a day, so it was really cool to do that and I read a few on there. The first one I read was book 1 in the Blessed series, which is by Tonya Hurley, and that is called Precious Blood. And I really enjoyed that. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars and I thought it was a really good read. Next I read The Forsaken, which is by Lisa M. Stas, and this is the first one in the series. This one I found amazing. I thought it was really well done, really interesting and really exciting, and the cover is beautiful, so I gave that 5 out of 5 stars and I would highly recommend you read it. Third, I read Let the Sky Fall, which is by Shannon Messenger. This one I gave 5 out of 5 stars as well. I really enjoyed it. All of these I read on Pulsit.com. Fourth, I read Unwind by Neil Shusterman. I read that on my Kindle and I really enjoyed it. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars and I definitely intend to get the rest in the series and start them soon. I would definitely say that if you enjoy sort of adventure but sort of rebellion stories, then definitely give it a go because it's really different and really unique and I really enjoyed it, and I definitely think his writing style is really engaging. Next I read a contemporary book and I read that on Pulsit.com as well. That is Faultline by Krista Desir, and I gave that 4 out of 5 stars. I would say that it's definitely a different kind of contemporary. I wasn't expecting what happened and I thought it was really interesting and really definitely got me into the story, which a lot of contemporaries can't because they're a bit too flighty, and this one was definitely a deep one and serious topic which was interesting, so I enjoyed that. Then I read The Dustlands book 1, which is Blood Red Road by Moira Young. This one is kind of a setting up story for the second book in the series, but I did enjoy it, so I gave it 3 out of 5 stars, and I would say that if you like YA, definitely check it out. I have done reviews of all of these books on my channel, so you can definitely go to them and have a look for the full review of them. So 7th, I read Allegiant, which is obviously by Veronica Roth, and there was a lot of hype around this book, so I wasn't sure how I was going to like it, but I found that I really enjoyed it and I gave it 3 out of 5 stars just because I had a slight detachment, having not read the first 2 for quite a while, so definitely I would say read them all together, but I really enjoyed it and I liked the ending, which a lot of people don't, so definitely if you have read the first 2 you definitely need to read the third one, and I would say that it's enjoyable. Next I had Life After Life, which is by Kate Atkinson. This was an adult read, standalone, and it was a really interesting concept, but I just felt it wasn't developed quite well enough and that there were areas which were too repetitive. I did like it, I thought it was a good read and I thought it was really well written, but I definitely felt like it could have been more interesting and exciting in some areas rather than lots of description. So I ended up giving that 3 out of 5 stars, but it was definitely interesting and good to read, and if you like that sort of London Victorian period, then definitely give it a go. Next I read a book that I had got free from a giveaway on Goodreads, and that was Ashes by Ilsa J. Bick. I really enjoyed it, I thought it was a really enjoyable read, and I ended up giving it 4 out of 5 stars, which I definitely think is good, considering I had been putting off reading it for ages. I don't know why, because I just really enjoyed it. Then I read my second ever Neil Gaiman book. I read The Graveyard Book, which I found fantastic. I thought it was really quirky, really witty and really interesting, and that was a 5-star read for me. It's really short and really sweet. I would highly recommend Neil Gaiman. Then I read Shatter Me by Tahereh Mafi. This I gave 3 out of 5 stars because I felt like the ending was really exciting and definitely sets up for the second book in the series, but the rest of the book is kind of leading up to the ending, which is really exciting. So it's not quite as on the same level as the ending, and hopefully the second book will bring that to the forefront and make it much more exciting the whole way through. So definitely worth reading, and definitely an interesting style with the crossed out writing. I really felt like it was lacking in some areas and should have been a bit more exciting and vibrant. So second book, hopefully. Then I read Steelheart, which is the first one in the Reckoner series. I kind of couldn't decide whether to give this 4 or 5 stars. It's by Brandon Sanderson, but I loved it, and I just thought I wish it was longer, which is the only reason I kind of docked half a star. I kind of gave it 4 out of 5 stars, but 4.5 if I could. And I just loved it. It was about superheroes. It was something I hadn't read before, and it was really vibrant, really exciting. I found it so interesting, and it was so beautifully written, like all of his work is. So highly, highly recommend it. Definitely give it a try. Then I read The Poison Diaries, which is by Mary Rose Wood. This is kind of like a kid's read, but also has some darker sides to it. It was really different to what I was expecting, which is kind of good and kind of bad, because I kind of wanted a light-hearted read, and it wasn't really that. But it was interesting, and it had a good storyline, and I liked where it was going, but it was a little predictable. I ended up giving that 3 out of 5 stars, and I enjoyed it. But I probably won't be picking up any more of her stuff, because it's not really my style. Then I read the first book in the Troll or Tyrell series, which is by Amanda Hocking, and that was Switched, and I really enjoyed it. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars, and I read it as part of the readathon, which I really enjoyed doing. So I would definitely recommend doing the readathons, and I would definitely say that hopefully the second book will be more interesting. Again, it kind of feels like it's setting up for the second book in the series, which is kind of good and kind of bad, so hopefully the second one will be really interesting. Then I got my Secret Santa book, Obsidian, and I read that for part of the readathon as well, and I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I thought it was really exciting and vibrant, and I definitely enjoyed the way that the characters interacted and the way that the secret of the story was unfolded gradually, not just really obvious. So that was exciting and kind of different, and I definitely want to carry on with the series, because I know it's meant to get better and better with every book, and I know that there's another one coming out next year, which I think is the 5th one in the series and the final one. So hopefully I can get a few more of them done before that comes out. We will see how I go. Then I ended up picking up, fortunately, The Milk is part of the readathon as well. I just kind of saw it as a sale on Kindle and thought, why not? Because I really liked the last Neil Gaiman book that I read, and so I read that and I really enjoyed it. It was such a sweet story, so intriguing and inviting, and just imaginary creatures and things like that, which are really beautiful, really well written. So I highly, highly, highly recommend that you read that. Especially if you love children's books and illustrations, because it does have illustrations and they really enhance the story. And I know if you've got a Kindle Fire, then you can read the enhanced version, which I think has videos and things like that as well. So that is probably really exciting, and I would definitely recommend it. Then I ended up picking up The Palace of Curiosities by Rosie Garland. This I found in Poundland, and I really enjoyed it. It was a beautiful edition. It's hardback. I loved it. It was so interesting. It was just like, I didn't know what to expect. I'd seen good reviews of it, but I wasn't sure what it was about and so on. So I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, and I thought it was really quirky, really interesting. Kind of the circusy freak atmosphere was really exciting, because obviously in modern day society we don't really have that sort of thing going on, especially in England. So it was definitely something I was really intrigued by, and I would definitely say that the writing style is beautiful and that you would love it. So definitely pick it up if you're interested in kind of bridging the gap between YA and adult, because it's certainly interesting and a good way to bridge that gap. And the final book that I read in December by Neil Gaiman, Stardust. And this one was also on sale on the Kindle, so were loads of his books, so I have quite a few of his that I intend to read soon, and I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. It wasn't quite as intriguing as the other books that I have read by him. It was a beautiful story, but I just felt like the first half was building up for the ending and wasn't that exciting. I really enjoyed the first few chapters, which were Tristran's father, and I was quite disappointed when they got cut off and it became Tristran as the main character, because I didn't think he was quite as exciting, and I thought that his father and the story going on there should have been developed a bit more. But the ending was really beautiful and I really enjoyed that. So that is all of the books that I read in December. I was really happy with how many I managed to get through, considering it was Christmas and loads of other stuff was going on. So I read 18 books and I managed to give all of them 3, 4 or 5 stars, which is pretty good. No really terrible books, so I enjoyed the month, and I will definitely be posting my January TBR fairly soon, so look out for that. Thank you for watching and I will see you all again soon. Bye! Me and you gonna have a little chat about the